Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus time travelers. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. This is your prediction for February 2026. You know the drill, Pisces. It's a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, just take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. Also, be sure to check out your other placements, okay? Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you don't know what they are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said, now let's begin. Okay, tapping into the Pisces collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Pisces need to know for February 2026? What do they need to know? One more shuffle here. Thank you. In the heart of your spread, we have the Hanged Man. In the top row, we have the Empress. We have the Three of Wands. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. Flanking the Hanged Man is the Four of Wands and the Six of Wands. And in the bottom row, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Emperor. Bottom of the deck. Looking into March. Can't believe I just said that. March. Two of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Cups. That leaves the Nine of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Four of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, I want to scoot some of these over just so you can see more of the cards. As someone who watches readings on YouTube, I appreciate being able to see most of the cards. So I think you can see most of them there. Okay, let's clarify the cards now. We're using the, sorry, I feel like I'm shedding ever since I took the shower. Like my hair's just falling out. All right, let's clarify these cards. I'm using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images are a bit different. Like that's the Page of Pentacles. This is the Two of Pentacles. So different images and therefore different meanings. And we'll go through them as we need to, as we move along your reading here. Very interesting. I'm curious to see what the clarifiers will show. Can you clarify this, please, further for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for February 2026? We are clarifying the Empress, Three of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the Hanged Man, Six of Wands, Ace of Swords, Five of Pentacles, and the Emperor for the month of February 2026. Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. And just to let you know, the card that partially showed itself back there while I was shuffling was the Two of Swords. We'll see if that wants to come out again. So the Empress is being clarified by the Seven of Wands. The Three of Wands is clarified by the Emperor. The Nine of Pentacles is clarified by the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is clarified by the Knight of Cups. The Hanged Man is clarified by the Moon. Six of Wands is clarified by the Queen of Swords. The Ace of Swords is clarified by the Four of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. And the Emperor is clarified by the Fool. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and Two of Pentacles. And that leaves the Ace of Wands, Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this message is very specific for those of you where you have someone in your life cycling out and you have someone new cycling in. And this could be anything. This could be like you're losing a friend and you're gaining a lover. Or you and your partner are discussing relocation and meanwhile you've decided to no longer talk to your mom. You know, again, I don't know who these two people are, but I have three distinct energies on the board. And I feel like one is exiting and one is entering. So let's see if I can make more sense of this. Your overall energy here for the month of February is the Moon to the Hanged Man. There's something here on a deep emotional level that you are trying to get a different look at. You're trying to get a different perspective on. It's almost like you're trying to understand why a particular connection in your life played out the way it did, why there were certain sacrifices that had to be made, why you had to walk away from it, or why it ended, or why they walked away from you. And there's a lot of emotional processing at this time over the loss of a particular connection in your life. In the top row, we have the Empress to the Seven of Wands, the Three of Wands to the Emperor, and the Nine of Pentacles to the Four of Wands. I feel like this is a break or severance with the current connection in your life. Someone that at some point in time you saw as your equal. Could be a boss, could be a parental figure, could be your spouse, or someone that you thought one day would become your long-term partner. But you are holding your ground. Empress to the 7 of Wands here. I don't know if you're the Emperor or Empress. I don't read body parts. I just have distinct energies here where it's like someone here is standing their ground that they no longer want to give to this connection. And the other person, the Emperor to the 3 of Wands, is already contemplating how to move on from this connection, because the 3 of Wands astrologically is the sun in Aries, and someone is taking action here to move in another direction. I feel like you're the Empress energy, whether you're masculine or feminine, because the Empress energy is going from Empress to 9 of Pentacles, and 9 of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. So I feel like this is a split or a parting of the ways between you and someone. It's like you're leaving a job or you're leaving a long-term committed partnership, but it's neither of you want to be part of this connection anymore. That seems to be what's happening here. And you are becoming single, free, and independent of it in the month of February, which may for some of you result in relocation either now or in the near future, especially if this is someone that you shared a marital home with. There could be something like that where, because I'm noticing here in the 4 of Wands in the After Tarot deck, this horse and buggy or this cart here, people are loading stuff onto it. So it's possible for some of you this entails like the separation of property. But I just see 2 very strong, distinct energies deciding to no longer engage with one another. On the other side of the Moon to the Hanged Man, we have the 4 of Wands repeated to the Knight of Cups. Someone is choosing, and it's you because it's your reading, because of this separation, you are choosing to nurture yourself. In the After Tarot deck, the Knight of Cups is drinking from the Ace of Cups. So whatever separation here is occurring, I think it's been occurring for quite some time, is the feeling that I get, because you're so combative against this individual, Empress to the 7 of Wands. And they're already sort of making plans to go their own way here. So now it's almost like while you're processing this ending, you're now deciding it's best for me to restabilize myself and to love onto myself. And for some of you, this could, with the 2 4 of Wands cards and a separation here in a connection, you could be relocating this month or finding a new housing situation to move to. On the other side of the Moon to the Hanged Man energy, we have the Queen of Swords to the 6 of Wands. This is you seeing very clearly that the separation with this individual was the best thing that could have happened to you. It's interesting because I think when the separation first began, you didn't feel that way. But through the processing of all of these emotions, which for some of you, you've been doing this for quite some time, a little on and off, it just looks like the month of February is a little bit more concentrated or a little bit more focused. And I think it's because we're wrapping up here the cycle with this person. Now there seems to be an understanding of why it had to come to an end. And you're actually feeling really good about it. Where again, I don't think in the past you felt good about the ending or the separation. Then we have the Ace of Swords to the 4 of Pentacles. You're seeing things very clearly. Why the relationship occurred the way it did. It's almost like it took a natural order, if you will. You're understanding why you held on to it for as long as you did, but also why it had to come to an end. And I say that because in the After Tarot deck, the 4 of Pentacles is being met by the Grim Reaper here, which is scorpionic energy of like the Death card. So it's almost like getting absolute clarity why I had it. I'm speaking like you. Why I had this person in my life, why I held on to them for as long as I did, and why the connection had to transform, change, and eventually come to an end. And transformation takes a long time. When we see the Death card in tarot, some people think like, oh my God, it's ending right now. No, death by nature, most of the time, takes a very long time. Transformation takes a very long time. If you've ever seen a caterpillar go into a cocoon and become a butterfly, it doesn't happen overnight, right? So typically transformation takes a long time. And I feel like February is your month where you're understanding why that particular connection had that full circle of life that it did, the beginning and the end, and how you've been changed and transformed by it as well. We then have the Five of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles. I have two distinct messages here for you. First, let me explain. In the tarot deck that I use for you, the Five of Pentacles shows two individuals outside of what appears to be a sanctuary of some sort. Community group, religious organization, institution. And they're shivering and they're cold. And you could have felt for quite some time that you were on the outside looking in. You could have been dealing with these feelings of either feeling like you're in lack, or maybe you weren't good enough for this person, or you just felt isolated or alone. For some of you, this created also like a financial deficit for you, or you were very worried about your finances. But in the After Tarot deck, the individuals, which were typically seen on the outside shivering and cold, are coming outside. They're exiting that facility, if you will, with a sack on their back, filled with lessons, filled with abundance, filled with nourishment. They're no longer out in the cold. So the two distinct messages I have for you is, for some of you, this whole process of going within and understanding why things played out the way they did with this person, and why you held on to them, and why you had to let go, and how it changed you as a person. Because you went within, you're now coming out, if you will, exiting out now into the world, feeling a lot more confident about yourself, because now you understand, right? You kind of did that dark night of the soul, and you understand why this connection played out the way it did. I have a secondary message for those of you where if this is a divorce, or there's a separation of assets here with this individual, you're coming out on top, or a lot better off than what you thought. And maybe that's what that Queen of Swords to the Six of Wands is. So for some of you, if this is any type of like legal proceeding, or there's money involved or assets involved, you're going from being in lack or being without to coming out with a bag of money, if you will, a bag of abundance. So let's say this is you deciding to leave a job, and you're deciding, I'm going to move on. I found this other job, and I feel like it's the best decision for me. Now I understand why I had to be at that place of employment. Now I understand the skills and the experience that I had, even though it was an unpleasant work environment and I ended up having to depart from it, or maybe they fired me. The feeling here is like, now I understand it, but maybe there's some kind of settlement. Like maybe you're receiving a severance pay, or they're paying you for sick days, or like unused vacation time, or something like that. Or maybe you're cashing in or rolling over your 401k retirement plan, investment plan. But you're coming out in the positive, even if this is like work related. There's some last payout or additional payout that's being given to you. This could also be like you're leaving a job, but then you're also receiving like unemployment, like I said, or some kind of severance package. If this is within a family dynamic, maybe there's some kind of splitting of assets or inheritance or something like that. You're coming out ahead or better off than what you thought you would. So again, it's a positive here. If this is separation between you and your spouse, you're coming out better than what you thought you would get. So you're getting maybe more than half the assets, or something's just being ruled here in your favor. Either way, you're coming out of emotional, and for many of you, financial lack by the end of the month. And then we have the Emperor to the Fool card. I mean, this is you ready for a whole new beginning here in your life. If this is work related, you have a new job in March. If this is you disconnecting from a family connection, maybe you're severing a tie with family, you have a new soulmate here on path. If you're breaking away from a love partner, this is a new love partner. We have new here across the board. And it's almost like you can't see it now in the Two of Swords, because you're still processing this ending. And you're working to rebuild yourself or rebuild your life after the loss of the job, or the loss of the connection, or the break or separation from this familial connection. Or like I said, for those of you relocating, you're trying to acclimate to your new environment. And there is a feeling here of, again, reflecting back on the past, the loss, all those emotions. But you're not focused. Like here you're blindfolded. The Eight of Pentacles, you're busy rebuilding your life, rebuilding your wealth, or becoming acclimated at the new job, or in singlehood, or in the new community. Again, you're looking down, and what you don't see coming is the Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and the Two of Pentacles. Like while you're in the process of trying to rebalance or recalibrate yourself, and the Two of Pentacles in the After Tarot deck, the individuals, they turn their back on the past, right? They're starting over new here. What you don't see coming is this new opportunity, a new job, a new friend, a new lover, maybe a friend who becomes like a family member. You have the Ace of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands. You don't have to fight for this. There's no fighting for this. The Five Wands, the After Tarot deck, no one is fighting. It's a connection being brought to you. It's like now you have the energetic space for this person. Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles to the King of Swords. I mean, I really like this a lot. To the Star card, to the Queen of Cups. I mean, for some of you, it's just new people. Like if you've relocated, you're busy. Like I said, you're getting acclimated to the new area. Maybe there's some feelings here of like remorse or maybe regret, you know, just feeling a little melancholy, thinking back to where you lived and how much your life has changed. This could just be like new neighbors that you're meeting. Either way, the connection or connections here come in very easily to you in the month of March. And I think a lot has to do with your clearing away the energetic cord or tie that you had to this person, or like I said, these people, if this is a familial or a community connection. I want to know a little bit about this individual that you're moving on from. And it's almost like now you're becoming the emperor. You know, it's like now you're becoming the emperor of your life, and you're moving forward. Tell me about the Three of Wands here for that other individual who's exiting. I definitely feel they're exiting. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Three of Wands is clarified by Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords. There we are again. So this is someone that you will feel that you have had victory over. Hierophant. This could be someone you were married to. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Cups to the Devil card. So someone that at some point in time you deemed to be toxic, or that they were a love bomber. It was someone who was emotionally unavailable or emotionally unreliable to you. And it looks like they're moving on from you. And I don't think this is coming as a surprise, because I don't think you want anything to do with this person either. Tell me about the Emperor. Also, if you're in a divorce with this person, that Queen of Swords could be, and when I used to do readings, personal readings, I haven't done them in a while, but sometimes Queen to the King of Swords comes up as either the judge or legal counsel or like a court mediator. So it's possible, since we have the Queen of Swords here twice, to that Page of Swords, to the Six of Wands, you could be receiving news. Both of you would be receiving news here, maybe about some kind of finalization or negotiation, final compromise, mediation, or the finalization of the divorce. Again, only for those of you where you're currently in it and maybe you are awaiting word or something like that. It looks like that's what's happening here in the month of February. Tell me more about the Emperor who is exiting. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Emperor who is exiting. Three of Pentacles. The Death card. Yeah, they're leaving. The Empress, they're leaving you, if you will, a devil. So I do think that this was a toxic connection. I'm not sure if it was always toxic, but in the After Tarot deck, the Ten of Cups. I only said that because the Ten of Cups is right behind there. So maybe some of you had a family with this person, or it's something that you desired. Typically what we see in the Devil card is two people shackled to one another, or shackled to the podium that the devil presides over. But in the After Tarot deck, the two people are unshackled. So whatever connection this was to you, if this was work-related, a friend, family members, because it could be a lot of people here, or just one person, or like I said, your spouse or an intimate partner, there is a severance here. If you thought that for quite some time this person was building a life outside of this connection, you're right. If you needed any kind of validation, you're right. It's possible for the last 3 years. For some of you, this person was planning to depart or planning to go in another direction. So again, that's only for those of you where your intuition was kind of telling you that. Maybe you needed some kind of validation. I'm here to give you that validation. But it looks like the two of you are disconnecting from what appears to have been a pretty unhealthy connection for both of you. Because we had the Devil card and now we have the Devil card detached. Okay, so no more on that person. You're both going your separate ways. You seem to be very defensive and guarded about them. So Although you might regret or have some sorrow that the connection didn't work out exactly how you originally wanted it to, there's still a sense of relief here in the Piscean collective that that's done, over with, and in the past. Now I want to see where you are headed. Because it's like now you're stepping into the role of the emperor. I almost feel like now like you get to call the shots in your life. So maybe this person was a very domineering or controlling person or controlling boss. Again, I don't know who they were to you, but I do see them exiting. We have the Lovers card. Now I'm clarifying you here. Lovers, Five of Swords, and there's that Seven of Wands. Oh, this is definitely you. Upping your game. Death card in the face of this ending. Death card. Death card here to the Four of Pentacles, and then Death card again. So this is you now trying to take all the lessons you learned from this, because I feel like this is not relational. I feel like it's the type of relationship you don't want to repeat ever again. Like, I don't want to ever have that kind of friendship again, or that work environment again, or that type of lover or marriage like ever again. I don't know why I'm getting that. Like, I never again. I never want to enter anything like that again, or I never want to experience that again. So that it must have been pretty wicked for you. So you're making the choice here to move on from the chaos and the confusion that this person brought into your life or contributed to your life in some way. I also think that after this, you don't want any other communication from this person. Swords could be communication, and it's like now that it's done and over with, I don't even want to talk to this person, or there's no reason to talk to them anymore. Tell me about the Fool card, the new beginning here. Tell me about the Fool card energy. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Fool card energy, the Tower, the Three of Swords, and the Six of Swords. Look how beautiful. And detached, my love. Detached from the toxic person, environment, situation, connection, like whoever this was to you. But I think when this is all done and said, this is what will be very shocking to you, is how healed you feel, how calm you feel in the aftermath. How easy it is for you to move on from this person. There's a Sabrina Carpenter song that's coming to my mind right now. I think it's called Feather. And it talks about someone feeling lighter than a feather now that they no longer have to engage with this person who, like, at one time they saw as the pinnacle of everything, right? And now it's like, oh, now you're out of my life and I can like breathe. That's what it feels like. I'm feeling lighter than a feather. So I think you're going to be very radically surprised, almost shocked on how well you're taking this ending and this complete departure or separation here from this person. It's like you're healed, you're ready to move on, you feel detached. There's no reason to argue anymore or argue with this person. It's like it's done, it's over with. And I love this Temperance because this is happiness, believe it or not. It is healing, it's feeling balanced now. I think the connection you had with this person or whatever situation this was always left you feeling off balance or maybe very anxious. You could have been, dealing with all of that anxiety. It's almost like it just completely leaves your life, again, like lighter than a feather. And then we go right to the Ten of Cups and that new opportunity here with the Page that I don't think you see coming. So you have a new soulmate here on Path. We're going to clarify that for you in a minute. But I just want you to feel more assured at the time of seeing this reading that as you're exiting February and going into March, you're literally feeling lighter than a feather because this is over and done with. Okay, I want to know about this new person now. Okay, let's put these cards in here and reshuffle these decks. And sometimes in a career and finance read, the Hierophant could be like the institution or corporation or entity that we work for. So it could be something like that where you're just feeling a lot better because you've left what appears to be a toxic work environment, or you no longer have to deal with that toxic boss or coworker or, whoever, maybe they were the owner of the company or something like that. I'm going to throw this out there for some of you. Maybe you're living in a community where it's like an HOA, like a homeowners association. And this could be like the person like ahead of the association or something like that. And now that you're relocating, you're like, oh, I never have to deal with them again or their rules. I just feel like whoever that was, they were very domineering and very controlling. And I don't see them being in your life very much after the month of February concludes. I'd like to know about this new opportunity, though, that's coming in that has you a bit excited. And what I like about the Chariot card in the After Tarot deck, I think this is called Sphinx. I think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm totally wrong on it. But typically what we see is we see them like sitting down, or one is sitting up and one is sitting down, but they're both up. So you're ready to go, is the feeling when the new opportunity or the new person comes in. Tell me about that Page of Cups here, or the Ace of Cups. I'm sorry, the Page of Cups I saw at the bottom of the deck was the messenger who's delivering it to you. But tell me about this Ace of Cups here. What does Pisces need to know about the Ace of Cups in March? One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Star, healing, wish fulfillment, 10 of Wands. You can't see it. And the 8 of Wands. I'm telling you, you're not, Pisces, here you are at the bottom of the deck. You're not seeing this. It's like you're so busy moving on from this person, processing the ending, releasing the burdens, maybe relocating or getting acclimated at the new job. Remember I said your head's down, your head's down, your head's down. Well, here you are again, your head's down. And you don't see this incoming blessing of this offer, opportunity, or connection. High Priestess, Queen of Cups. I told you, Knight of Swords. It's coming right towards you, and you don't see it. You're here, and both the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, you're like laser focused on what you have to do. And it's like you don't see this information coming your way. Tell me more about this. Information, opportunity, offer, soulmate. Could be an Aquarius. We also have Cancer there. Tell me more about that Ace of Cups. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Swords. Oh, that's just beautiful. Bottom of deck, Wheel of Fortune. If this is a job that you're leaving, this is a much better job here. If this is a romantic partner that you're leaving, this very well could be your next romantic partner. Take it slow. Don't rush. Okay, there's no reason to rush. What's meant to be will be yours, won't pass you by. But we had the Hierophant for this individual, and now we have a Hierophant here. So if you're leaving a job, it's a new job. You're leaving a community, it's a new community. If you're leaving a love partner, it could be a love partner here for you. If that's a friend, I feel like this is another friend. Wheel of Fortune, Justice, and the Page of Wands. And I was going to call it the detox card. Isn't that interesting? The Devil card, where they're detoxed or unchained. So this is a healthy connection, healthy opportunity, healthy environment, healthy person who's now put on your path. And again, I feel like they're energetically free to come in, because whoever this was is no longer occupying that energetic space. So congratulations, a month in advance. You'll have to come back in March and tell me what that is. I'm excited now to do your March reading, to find out who or what that is. Go slow, okay? Whatever it is, you don't need to rush into it. I think that's how you ended up in that. I hate to call someone a mistake, but I think that's how you ended up in that tumultuous or toxic relationship. Maybe you rushed into it. So take all the time you need here, and even in March, I mean, the Hierophant is Taurus energy. Go slow with it. Although you seem to be quite passionate about the offer opportunity. Just go slow with it. It'll all work out for you. Let's get you 3 oracle cards now. Thank you. One here for the middle row, and one here for that last row. Thank you. Remember I said detox instead of the Devil card? You're detoxing your connections. That's exactly what you're doing. Quiet retreat, maybe spending more time alone, could be relocating. Maybe some of you in the month of February choosing to go away for a weekend or an extended weekend just to kind of clear your mind. It is safe for you to receive. Yes, it is safe for you to receive love, abundance, opportunity again, and you're detoxing connections in your life. And then you have do the work. And that's what I was saying. Just process the ending, enjoy your alone time, or the new job or singlehood. Again, no need to rush into the new. It's there waiting for you. Take your time. Do the work instead, like the internal work that I see you doing here in that 5 of Pentacles. Can I get 3 oracle cards here? Wow. Okay, your first card is Supreme Protection. I feel like whoever this was or whatever this is had to be removed from your life. I think you were spiritually protected from that person. You're protected. Cords are being cut, and you can move beyond the limitations now. Trust. Yeah, I think whatever happened there was divine intervention, and maybe that's what you need to see here. If you're wondering why this came to an end, it had to come to an end. You deserved better than that. Then have love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth and choose loving thoughts. I think it's especially important for you when you're transitioning from something that's tumultuous or toxic, or maybe you've been fighting this for a long time. I think it's important for you to choose yourself, choose to love yourself. And that's what I mean by like doing the work and taking your time before you hop into the next thing. And then you have heart awakening, awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive and balance. Yeah, whatever that was not a balanced connection whatsoever. I think that's another reason why I had to come to an end. So let's close it off now with some kippers. 2 cards here for the top row. 2 cards here for the middle row. 2 cards here for the last row. I'm going to also pull for you, adjudication. For some of you, this is core or the severance of a soul bond connection. You have marriage in reverse and you have pathway. So there is a soul bond connection here that is coming to an end in the month of February. Again, I don't feel like this is anything new. So if you're watching this, you have no idea what I'm talking about, please don't panic. Just check another placement. This is specifically for those of you, this has been a long time coming. I just feel like this is, we're wrapping up this cycle quite quickly. I don't officially have the world card here, but I have your new beginning already here on the map, on the table, if you will. You then have distant horizons and you have child. I like this. You're rebirthing or birthing a whole new life, whole new chapter. The distant horizon card is a 3 to 6 month timing card for me. So some of you are looking to wrap up this connection in the course of the next 3 to 6 months, or possibly relocate, or you've been contemplating walking away from this job for the last 3 to 6 months, and now you're ready to do that and like birth a new career direction for yourself. And you have thief and you have great fortune. I told you, you're coming out of emotional or financial lack. Whatever this person thought they were going to take from you, no, you're getting it back. And I think you're getting back more than what you thought you would get. We have judication, we have concern, and we have sudden wealth. I told you, if this is a court case, it's turning in your favor, or there's a ruling here in your favor. If you're leaving a job, this is them needing to pay you out. Again, like I said, a severance pay or some kind of settlement, or sick days or vacation days that you haven't used. Or you're losing the job, either you're walking out or being fired, but then you're receiving some type of compensation. Like it could be unemployment or unemployment insurance or financial assistance from somewhere else. If this is inheritance regarding like maybe a parental figure that has passed, I still feel like it's there's a ruling in your favor or a decision here in your favor. Can I get 2 cards, please, on the new opportunity or the new person coming in? Thank you. Told you. Message. Receive some kind of message. We saw the Page of Cups. I think we saw the Page of Pentacles as well. And then we have mature woman. You could be the mature woman, mature man. I don't read body parts. Or this could just be the individual who's coming towards you. And then we have thoughts here at the bottom of the deck. Again, you're focused on something else. Can I have one more on that mature woman card? Yeah, false person. You're focused on something else. Maybe you're focused on the ending of this person, this false person, something like that. I would just expect a new person coming in. Again, I think you're I don't want to say you're fixated on this ending. I think you're becoming acclimated from the ending with this false person, or like I said, this toxic connection. We have another message card here, occupation and toil and labor. Yeah, if you're leaving a job, this is a new job opportunity. If you're leaving a long-term connection in your life, I just think you're busy working on yourself. Like I said, getting acclimated to the changes. There is some remorse and regret that connection just didn't work out, or that situation didn't work out. But what you don't see coming is there's someone else who is mature, who knows what they want or what they want to offer you, and you're receiving a message here with that offering. Go slow. I'm not saying this person is a false person or not a false person. They came out sideways. And I think your message here is just go slow. Let's see what the messages show up in March for you in regards to that person. But if you think you're losing your job, you're never going to find another one, you're wrong. Or if you think you're leaving this romantic partner and you're never going to find another one, you're wrong. There's someone new here on your path. I don't believe they're a false person. Actually, I want to relieve your concerns and mine. Can I get 3 cards, please, on that person? I think you're focused on that false person, because in the false person card, there's someone in the background here and they have a blindfold on. So again, I don't think you see the mature woman, mature man coming in, because you're focused on this. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Five of Swords, the Sun card, and the Page of Pentacles. That's the person providing you with the offer opportunity, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, again, I think you're busy walking away or restructuring your life or becoming acclimated from that person. I don't think you see this person coming in with this offer or opportunity. Page of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and Tower. I told you, you don't see it coming. This is someone who wants to collaborate, build with you. Again, a friendship, a connection, or maybe even an employment opportunity or an investment opportunity as well. That is what I have for you, Pisces. New across the board, but it just looks like we're tying up some loose ends here with someone from the past who appears to be quickly exiting your life. Although if I were to speak to you one-on-one, you would probably say, Jen, it has not been that quick. I've been waiting forever for this. It looks like it's coming to an end and you have a new opportunity here now, like officially on the horizon. We're officially seeing it on the books. That is what I have for you, my dear, for February 2026. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Oh my, at the end of the month, we are in your season. So if you're a February Piscean, I'd like to wish you a very happy birthday ahead of time. All right, my dear. Yeah, if those messages resonate with you, please click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. Thank you very much for being a time traveler. I do appreciate your support, and I hope that these messages help you with your journey. Until I read for you again, I'm sending you light, love, and peace.